if you really think about it, human communication is basically this massive open source programming language.
Oh, I like that analogy. Yeah.
Right. Like, we use words to code our reality. We're constantly processing the variables of our daily lives and, communicating our intentions to the people around us.
Exactly. Every single time you speak, you're essentially running a script designed to help you navigate what is, honestly, a highly unpredictable world.
So true. And today, we are taking a deep dive into one specific incredibly powerful line of code that you probably use constantly.
And you might be using it without ever realizing the complex machinery operating under the hood, so to speak.
Totally. So we're looking at a highly practical video script today. It was created by two language instructors, Emma and Jack, and it's designed to break down conversational English and grammar.
Specifically, they're tackling a concept known as the first conditional.
Which, let's be honest, first conditional sounds like a highly technical piece of linguistic jargon. It sounds like a protocol for a missile launch or something out of a sci-fi novel.
Right. It sounds so rigid, but it is actually the foundational framework for how humans process reality and negotiate the future.
And that is our mission today. We want to completely demystify this structure. We're moving way beyond those dry grammar rules you might remember from school.
We really want to help you understand how to naturally and confidently express real future possibilities, so you never sound awkward when making plans.
Exactly. We are addressing you directly today, because by the end of this deep dive, you are going to have a rock-solid grasp on a structure you already use every day.
Because when you master the mechanics behind it, you elevate your communication. You stop just reacting to the world, and you start actively defining the parameters of your interactions.
Okay, let's unpack this. We need to get into the programming logic. What is the fundamental purpose of the first conditional in our daily lives?
Well, Emma and Jack define it by setting a very specific boundary. The rule is that it's used exclusively to talk about real and possible situations in the future.
Real and possible, that's the key, right?
Yes, the emphasis there is huge. Things that can actually happen. We aren't dealing with hypotheticals or, wild fantasies or regrets about the past.
So looking at this through that computer logic lens I mentioned earlier, in programming, you have these if-then statements. If a specific input is received, then a specific output happens.
Right.
It seems to me that the first conditional is basically a scientific hypothesis for everyday life. It's an action and reaction formula for reality.
That is a perfect way to look at it. It's a formula for cause and effect in the real world. Mm-hmm. And the source actually provides some very grounded examples to illustrate this realness.
Let's hear them.
So one of the instructors uses the sentence, "If I study hard, I will pass the exam."
Okay, let's break that down. Studying hard is the input. Passing the exam is the programmed output. And it definitely fits that real and possible criteria.
Exactly. Passing an exam after studying isn't some pipe dream. It's a highly possible future event based on a tangible action.
Makes total sense. Give me another one.
They also bring up the scenario, "If it rains tomorrow, I will stay home."
Again, rain is a highly possible variable. Staying home is the logical reaction.
Right. You wouldn't use this structure to say, "If I sprout wings tomorrow, I will fly to Paris." That requires totally different grammar because it breaks that fundamental rule of reality.
Right, because you are definitely not sprouting wings. So, since we've established that this is the formula for cause and effect in the real world, how do we actually build this formula?
The underlying architecture is actually remarkably strict. It's a mathematical structure from the text.
Okay, hit me with the math.
It is if plus present simple, which leads to will plus a veer.
Okay, so we have two distinct halves functioning together here. Let me apply that to the examples we just used.
Go for it.
So the condition clause acts as the setup. If she studies, that's the if plus present simple part.
Correct.
And that triggers the result. The payoff, she will pass. That's the will plus verb.
You got it. Both halves are required to execute the complete thought. Like, if you are late, present simple condition, we will start without you. Guaranteed future result.
Okay, the logic is super clean there. But wait. If we are talking about the future, why is it so tempting to put will in the if part?
Oh, man.
Like, as an English speaker, I hear people do this all the time. My brain instinctively wants to force will into that first half.
You are pointing out a major trap here. The source actually highlights this specific issue because it's such a common mistake for learners.
Because tomorrow is the future. Will means the future. So my brain says, if it will rain tomorrow, should be the right way to say it.
Right, but what's fascinating here is that using will in the IF clause is a huge mistake. The instructors make it very clear you cannot say, if it will rain, I will stay home.
But why is the language so hostile to that logic?
Because of how human language handles certainty. You can't build a definitive action on top of a shifting, uncertain foundation.
Oh, I see.
The condition itself, the IF part, must be stated as a present fact to trigger the future result. You have to think of the IF clause as a sort of virtual reality simulator.
A simulator. Okay, explain that.
When you say, if it rains, you're stepping inside a simulated present where the rain is an absolute, undeniable fact.
Wow, okay. So the word if is already doing all the heavy lifting of establishing the uncertainty. We don't need will because we aren't predicting anymore.
Exactly. In that simulated reality, the condition is met. And only because that foundation is solid can you launch the future action. I will stay home.
So using will in the IF clause basically breaks the simulation. It turns a solid foundation back into an uncertain prediction.
Yes, you can't blast a rocket off a launch pad that hasn't been built yet.
I love that. The present simple provides the solid ground. If it rains, the launch pad is secure. Then, I will stay home. The rocket takes off.
It really is a great way to visualize it. And once you understand those rigid rules of the structure, you can actually start exploring how to bend them for conversational flow.
Which is great news because grammar doesn't have to be totally rigid, right?
Yeah.
We don't want to sound like robots reading code.
Yeah. Definitely not. And Emma and Jack reveal this really good news in the text. You can actually put the IF part first or second, and both are perfectly correct.
Oh, that's awesome. I think of it kind of like Lego blocks. You have your condition block and your result block.
Right.
And you can just snap them together in whatever order sounds best for the story you're trying to tell.
Exactly. The meaning of the sentence doesn't change at all. For example, they use hunger in the text. You can say, if I'm hungry, I will make dinner.
Leading with the condition.
Yeah.
Setting the ground rules first.
Right. Or you can flick the blocks. I will make dinner if I'm hungry.
It feels different rhetorically, even though it means the same thing. You're leading with the action there. I will make dinner. It captures attention.
It's a subtle psychological pivot. But swapping these clauses around introduces a very crucial mechanical detail regarding punctuation.
Right. The comma.
Yes, the punctuation changes based on the order. If the IF comes first, you absolutely must use a comma.
If I'm hungry, comma, I will make dinner.
Exactly. But if the IF comes second, no comma is needed. I will make dinner if I'm hungry.
That is so important. And for you listening, whether you're writing an email, a proposal, or any formal document, mastering this tiny punctuation detail is the secret.
It really is.
It elevates your writing from amateur to professional. Knowing when to use that comma shows you understand the structural integrity of the sentence.
It proves you're in control of the rules.
Okay, so we've covered the mechanics, the Lego blocks, the commas, but single sentences are great. How does this look in a real continuous conversation?
This is where the source material is fantastic. They don't just leave you with isolated sentences. Emma and Jack provide this incredibly natural conversation about an upcoming office party.
Oh, I love this part of the script. They basically string multiple first conditionals together to negotiate their plans.
Yes, it's a chain reaction.
Let's walk through that domino effect from the dialogue because it's brilliant. Emma starts by saying that if her project is finished on time, she is definitely going to the party.
Right, she's establishing her professional boundaries immediately.
Then Jack chimes in. He says if the weather is nice, he'll walk. But if it rains, he'll take a taxi.
He's vocalizing his logistics. He has contingencies built on real possible variables.
And then it gets into the social networking side. Emma asks, if Sarah comes, will Jack introduce her? Right, because saying I will definitely be there creates a lot of pressure. But saying, if I finish work, I will be there, manages expectations perfectly.
Exactly. It helps us navigate social unpredictability with total clarity. You aren't being flaky, you're just being clear about your operating parameters.
So what does this all mean? Let's quickly summarize the key takeaways we've unpacked today.
Okay, first and foremost, this structure is exclusively for real and possible future situations. No hypotheticals.
Second, the architecture is strictly if plus present simple, will plus verb, the launch pad and the rocket.
Third, and this is the big trap, never put will next to if. The IF clause is a simulation, so it needs to be present tense.
And lastly, the order is totally flexible. Just mind your commas. Commas if F is first, no comma if it's second.
And the source material actually makes a really great promise at the end of their video that I want to bring up.
Oh, what was it?
They tell their students, if you practice every day, you will improve quickly.
Oh, I see what they did there. Using the grammar to teach the grammar?
Exactly. And it applies directly to you listening to this deep dive right now. Practicing this actively is how you master it.
Which actually leads me to a thought I had about their homework prompt. The source asks the students to finish the sentence. If I learn English well, I will.
Leaving the result clause open, I like that.
Right. And looking at that prompt, it got me thinking. You know how they say language shapes how we think?
Oh, definitely.
Well, if the first conditional is literally the grammar of possibilities, the grammar of cause and effect, does practicing it actually rewire our brains?
Wait, really? Like to make us more proactive?
Yeah. Like if you're constantly organizing your thoughts into this actionable, if this happens, I will do this format, does it train you to look for actionable solutions in your daily life?
That is a profound thought. You start seeing obstacles as just conditions to be met rather than impossible walls.
Exactly. So for everyone listening today, here is your challenge. Observe how often you naturally use if and will in your conversations today.
Notice how it feels.
Yeah. Notice how it empowers you to shape your own future. You are the programmer of your reality. What kind of future are you coding for yourself today?